The following is rated S for spoilers. Hello and welcome to the Popcorn Hangover. My name is Alex.
My name is Graham.
And today we are switching things up a little bit.
It's going to be a different one.
We're trying something new. We're not talking about any specific project. And the problem that we're having is that there is just too much.
There's too much
coming
content.
up. How do you pick one thing?
Dude, I can't. We can't.
It's impossible. There's so much. We're just kind of talking about just this oversaturation of content coming out nonstop, it seems. All the time. And to help us talk about this today, we are bringing on a special guest for the first time, our good friend Brenden Janeczko, who you probably heard on the Parking Lot Talk a few times. Patreon.com/popcornhangover to get that. Brenden, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for hopping on.
So you're our first guest, man. How does it feel?
Oh, dude, I'm stoked. This is fun.
Cool. So, I mean, what are you guys all watching right now? I mean, I think we're all kind of like on different things because there's so many things happening.
Yeah. I say right now I'm caught up on Kenobi. It actually took me a second to actually get onto those episodes just because I was so busy. I haven't touched into Stranger Things. Is something I really want to watch, but the tricky thing for me on that is I only watched season 1 and 2. I have never finished season 3. Never started it, I don't think. So I got to kind of get through that as well. But
yeah,
that's kind of my top 2. I've wanted to start, but
cool. Brenden?
Yeah, I kind of have. There's a lot of saturation right now, but there's kind of like tiers. So I feel like for me, it's like Kenobi's number 1. Like that's the show that has to get watched. And then started watching The Boys this weekend. I think that's kind of something that I've been looking forward to for a while because the production got pushed back for a while. And then I'll come back to Stranger Things when I get some free time. I'm not quite so busy. So yeah.
Stranger Things is one where like, I don't know if I just want to watch half of a season and then not.
Here's the thing. I felt the same way, especially I kind of liked how they were doing like half and then like releasing half like just about a month later, which really isn't terrible because they're not making anyone wait like a whole year. But I was never excited for this season or really the show much more or less until like this season, half of season 4 dropped, and I've just heard great things about it. It's really more like the word of mouth, like seeing things on like Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and things like that. Like that's the only main reason I have actual interest in the show. But I don't want to like just jump into season 4 and then be lost because I've heard the show's crazy.
My thing with half seasons is it's just a way to get something made cheaply. Yeah. Like I feel like every time they do a half season, it's just 2 seasons that they didn't want to expand to multiple episodes for whatever reason.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day. Like TV shows, like literal shows that would air on TV would be shot roughly. I mean, to be fair, they did not have the same amount of like money or quality that these shows have in today's time, which is totally fair. I would rather have this, but like, shoot, seasons were what, like 23 episodes? Like that was a standard season for a lot of shows.
For a sitcom.
Well, sitcoms, but I mean, still even like some like dramas and things like that you'd watch on TV, like I would have just like such a longer episode span. And I'm just like, now I'm like watching a show. I'm like, oh, cool. We get like a solid 6 episodes. And I'm like, cause like Kenobi, like we're halfway through Kenobi already. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like I wish we had like, I don't know. I like longer drawn out episodes or seasons where you get more content, but.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's just unnecessary. That's why I don't like shows. That's why I like this new format where it's as long as it needs to be.
Yeah. See, a part of me likes the filler content. That's the only reason I'd be okay with it. Because, you get those shows that they just have like 7 or 8 episodes that are just totally unnecessary. They have nothing to do with story, or they just focus on like one character. Like the biggest example I can give is like Ted Lasso. Like in season 2.
Are you about to talk about the beard episode?
Yeah. No. Here's the thing.
We're muting you again. He's kicked off the episode once more. This is unacceptable. I cannot take this.
I'm not gonna talk. Listen. I'm not talking trash on that episode. I actually thought that episode was like, it is the best example of like something that like a lot of people enjoyed and thought was thought was
I don't think
one
anyone
of the
enjoyed
best.
that episode.
See, that's the weird thing is I always like anyone that watched the show before us, all my friends and family, they were like, dude, like wait till you get to the beard episode. Like, and I'm like, which episode is that? Like, what did like, dude, you'll know. And they were like hyping it up. I thought it was like funny. Definitely had nothing to do with the entire story of the season or anything going on. But it was kind of one of those things where it was like, I like that. If you throw in one or two of those episodes every once in a while, I feel like people enjoy it. It just kind of like mixes things up, you know? But I don't know.
Maybe I would say that Ted Lasso is a perfect show if the whole Beards Night Out did not exist. That was the most useless, random
I don't
junk
think
I've ever seen.
I don't think that ever hurt.
It was it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't think it hurt the show. But that show is number one. I should have worn my Ted Lasso shirt. I have a Ted Lasso shirt. I love that show so much. That is honestly number one. The number one show in my roster of anything I've ever watched. Anything that's been created. It's the best show out there, man.
Yeah. So what about we're talking about shows a lot, and I mean I think that's the thing that's
what's been out.
That's what's like really being pushed out. I don't know. For me, Kenobi, the exact same thing. I'm watching that every week. Mm-hmm. We're getting ready for Miss Marvel next week, or today as this episode comes out, which is
that comes out next
crazy.
Week.
Yeah,
bro. I did not know that.
Miss Marvel comes out, and I don't know. Here's a little talking point. We're getting jumping a little ahead. How is Disney doing their schedule? I need to understand this because I thought the whole purpose of Kenobi premiering on a Friday was so that it could
have the Friday slot,
and Miss Marvel could have the Tuesday slot or Wednesday slot.
Nope.
I don't understand. Why was it why did it come out on a Friday?
Was
it because of Star Wars Celebration or something?
Maybe. I mean, maybe just to get people hype. I literally have no idea. I've never questioned their whole drop of shows doing like the Wednesday, Friday slot, like things like that. But until recently, and I was just like, that made no sense. Because it was literally like Wednesday night, and we were all like, "Oh, we're excited for Kenobi," and then you were like, "Yeah, I got the episode spoiled for me. It's out." And we were like, "What?" I was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah, because I was on Reddit and I saw there was a spoiler tag, and I figured, "Oh, I've seen the 2 episodes. I'll click on this." And then I was like, "Oh, there's a Darth Vader fight. Cool."
Which was freaking nuts, man. That's so good.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good one.
So, I mean, overall, like Brenden, do you think that do you like this kind of just nonstop push of content? Even not even just with TV shows, but even like with movies. Like I feel like every week there's something new coming out.
I enjoy having like stuff to watch, but I feel like to some extent we're getting like it's almost as if the content quality is being reduced slightly. Like it seems shows are being rushed through production. We're seeing, it looks like the VFX team's like not having enough time to like fully composite, like fully put everything together. Like, you see with Doctor Strange, when that was released, it felt a little rushed. And then the first bit of the first little stint of Moon Knight. Yeah. Like it was like, it just felt a little strange. It just felt like everything was rushed. And I don't know. I wonder if that's part of the issue is because they're trying to push so much out there to compete with other streaming platforms. But I think they could totally get away with what they did last year. Like I felt like last year's schedule was perfect. There was something each, every so often.
Every season, every couple of months,
spread out. Yeah, it spread out really well, and then it didn't like overlap with like movies too much. And like Chip and Dale came out on Disney Plus, and me and Alex, we were just talking about this. Like that felt like that could have been a theatrical release. Like there would have been,
should have been.
There would have been an audience for it. I think people would have went out and seen it, but because Doctor Strange, there were like just so many other movies coming out. They're like, oh, we don't want to compete, and then that gives us something else to throw on our streaming platform for people that like don't want to go to the theater still. Like maybe that's part of it, but
which even then the way they did release it by just giving it to the platform, it was no like premiere access. It wasn't. I feel like it didn't have hardly any advertisement or like marketing for when it came out. I remember seeing like maybe 1 or 2 things, but that was it, and that was like months before it even came out. But
the one thing I'll say to that though is like I guarantee you there was tons of marketing. The problem is that we weren't the target audience, so we probably didn't see it as much.
That's fair.
Like, just the amount of targeting that you can do with ads is terrifying. But
Yeah. I saw a couple things, especially on like TV. I saw a couple like, little things here and there, but it just got overshadowed by all the Kenobi trailers and all that other stuff. It's like, I want to watch that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brenden. Like, and I wonder, because you would think that with these massive budgets that everything has now, that
I feel like it'd be more organized.
not that it would be more organized, but it should all be better. We shouldn't be having these issues. But I wonder if the reason the budgets are as large as they are is because they have to hire 10, 15 different VFX houses to all work on different scenes and to all, instead of paying one person one rate to do an entire show, they're paying 60 different people to do different pieces of it.
But also, I don't think we've ever seen a point in time where we've had the budgets we've had and the amount of content, like kind of what we're like the reason we're talking about. I mean, we've never had this amount of content in one point in time, and I don't know if it was just the whole fact that like COVID calmed down and everyone's like, let's get this out now before things pick back up, or just what switched. But I mean, like, nothing's ever been, I guess, produced in the order or like the fashion it is right now in the past.
So here's something else, because when we were talking about doing this episode, and I started thinking, like, all of our examples are with movies or with like streaming shows or just streaming in general, I think is the biggest factor in all of this. But let's go back 15 years to cable. I mean, was it really that different? I mean, every night of the week you had a different show coming out, new episode of another show coming out on multiple channels. You know, you have your Saturday morning cartoons. You had to be up every Saturday to watch all 6 episodes of whatever shows. Like, is it really that different?
I'd say so, especially with just the demand for the visual effects and just going through multiple different, lines of editing. I think things were a little more streamlined back in the TV days, and half the content was live or live to tape, so
that's a good point.
It was almost like, you run a show, like occasionally, like we'll have sets where people would prefer to do live to tape, and we'll set up the 3 cameras, run them all through, and you just switch it live, and you can change that out later, but it's pretty fast. But these kind of more like one camera style shows that are more highly produced, more cinematic, and then you add on the superhero, like, okay, VFX and stuff, that's just going to take more time to develop and post. So, yeah.
I also think you made a good point earlier, Brenden, too, about how Disney's earlier schedule was fine. Like, the one constant between all 3 of us and what we're watching right now is the Disney thing. And I think regardless of what period of time it would be the Star Wars or Marvel show that's coming out. Like, they have the 2 biggest franchises in the world.
Easy.
Having more content, sure, is fun, and I'm going to watch it, unfortunately. But, like, I'm okay with waiting I'm okay with quality over quantity. And I do think that those shows have incredible quality. But imagine what they could do if they took more time on what they're doing.
Yeah, I think just the number of shows, like if you just push it back, just took out 1 or 2, like I feel like that would really help the schedule a lot, and you wouldn't be competing with your own brand. But yeah,
and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like eventually, like right now, it's working for them, or they're getting through it. But I feel like eventually they're gonna have to slow it back down to a point where they're not about to release Kenobi and Miss Marvel back to back with another show back to back after that. And I mean, because at that point you are competing with your theater releases versus your streaming releases versus your own content of how much you're pushing out. And
I think it's a really interesting point. Like, I'm curious to see what the numbers are going to look like, because Kenobi was the biggest premiere of any Disney Plus show. So obviously it has a massive audience just on its own.
Right.
I'm curious to see. And also Miss Marvel is not seeming to be as highly anticipated as other things. So I'm curious to see, like, is it going to be a competition? Are more people going to watch Kenobi over Miss Marvel, or is it because it's Marvel? I mean, that's a whole other audience. Right. You know, there are people that don't watch Star Wars, but they like Marvel. Yeah. Like, I'm actually really curious to see like what those numbers look like and how that might affect their schedule. Maybe that's why they are doing it, just to test the waters and experiment.
Just see if they can blow a massive amount of numbers out.
They have one show that they know is going to work really well with Kenobi, and they have another one that they know people will watch. It may not,
but they might not
have the same audience as everything else. But like, so I wonder if that's what's going through the machine's head right now.
Yeah.
Or they're getting ready to up those prices again. They're like, we need to be able to feel like, you know,
keep people on.
People will want to pay, you know, instead of, what is it now? Like, is it 8? Is it 10? Is it 12?
I have no idea.
I think Disney Plus is still like 8 unless you like have it bundled.
I think it is pretty cheap.
It's like, I mean, you could do like that Hulu, Netflix, or Hulu, Disney, ESPN bundle for like 13. Yeah. And Netflix right now is like $18 a month, which if you give me any time a day, I will talk about how much I hate Netflix just because I do. But
I really like Netflix. I think I spend more time on Netflix than on any other streaming service.
Really?
But I think it's just because I'm mostly watching movies on there.
But even then,
and I got into Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul now, so like those are on there.
That's
Better Call Saul.
That's the thing. Here's the thing. Like for me to watch Stranger Things, I'm always gonna have to revert back to Netflix. Like that's the thing. They're always gonna have a few shows that will like keep me on. But I mean, honestly, even now, if I'm sitting on the couch one night, I'm trying to pick a movie, like we'll end up on HBO Max, we'll end up on Hulu. Max is also pretty good. Like right now, like when it comes to like movies, like Netflix has not been my
Prime Video. I think is the most underrated.
We had
1000%
Project and
the Adam Project was
There's been some pretty good Netflix originals.
I've liked some of their original movies. I can't think of a single original show other than Stranger Things. That
I liked
Umbrella Academy.
Did you watch that one?
No, I watched the pilot and said this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
It was shot.
I think you're the only person I personally know that tried it. I still haven't.
It was about some lunatic girl who knows nothing about anything French or how to do fashion. She's a social media manager, but her boss is like, "I'm pregnant. You're going to go instead." And then everyone bullies her because she doesn't know what she's doing. Like it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But it has like 60 million seasons and people love it for some reason. I don't know. I don't get it.
Dude, you know what's an underrated show that Prime Video did? Literally, you guys ever watch Uploaded with Robbie Amell?
Oh, I watched a season of it on my flight over to London, and it was.
I watched season 1, like when it came out, like as episodes were dropping. I
haven't committed to finish it, but
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
I enjoyed the first part of it.
I didn't care for it. It wasn't for me.
What?
I finished the first season just because I was intrigued. Yeah. But like I have no desire to watch the second season.
Yeah, I need to. I just keep forgetting about it because again, Prime is one of the apps that I just. It is going to be the last thing I.
That's a good point. Is like. There are lots of shows and things right now that I like and I want to keep up with, but I didn't realize The Boys had even come out until I happened to open up Prime and was like, oh,
bro, we were sitting in the
3
theater.
episodes of the show.
We were sitting in the theater the other day watching Bob's Burgers. This was like a week ago or whatever, and I saw the trailer for The Boys come up, and it was like June 3rd, and I was like, oh, sick, and I was like, that's Friday. I was like, holy crap. I was like, okay, didn't even realize that was like coming up. Like, and again, it's on Prime. Like, I never, unless I'm ordering something on Amazon and I see an ad scroll across the top, like I'm never on Prime Video. Like again, it's one of the apps that I'm gonna go to Hulu
there's like a new version of like, I don't know if y'all ever watched Top Gear UK, but those same 3 guys like made a show on Amazon. That's like, I go watch that a lot. That was fun. Those guys are funny, but yeah, that's about between that and The Boys. That's all I really watched. There's like some good documentaries on Prime. Yeah. There's some good stuff on there.
Prime has like just some strange like movie options that like I want to watch, but it's just like I don't know, like the rights had nowhere else to go, so they ended up on Prime.
Yeah,
Prime can really take that. They can take that risky chance and just be like, hopefully.
Also, I think Invincible is another show that I would say.
Ooh, yeah,
there are 3 shows that I would say are perfect.
Still not,
and that is Breaking Bad.
I have to wait forever though.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, Ted Lasso, and Invincible. I think are 3 perfect shows.
Still haven't seen Invincible. I need to.
You need to go watch that like this weekend. That is
it's a real short watch.
Yeah.
It's like,
is there what, like 20, 25 minute episodes?
Yeah,
Few
they're
episodes?
it's super.
It's pretty good.
It's a quick watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just getting started with things. We're talking a lot of shows. I want to get into movies in a little bit.
Yeah.
But for now we're gonna wrap it up there for a second. We're gonna take a little break.
We'll be back. Dude, I'm so glad we're doing this.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a lot of fun, and it's not as difficult as I thought it would be.
No, not at all. Like Anchor has made it especially easy when it comes to like actually getting our podcast out on the air. Because when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on all the listening platforms. So easy getting it over to Spotify, getting it to Apple, wherever you're trying to get your podcast to. Yeah,
I think we're on like 7 platforms just through Anchor, and not even just the distribution, but even just creating the podcast. Like there's so many recording and editing tools within it, so you can record, edit, add music in, sound effects, all sorts of things directly through Anchor, and it is free.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's incredible. So if you would like to start your own podcast, just like ours, go to anchor.fm on your desktop device, or you can go on to your mobile app store and download the Anchor app. And we are back.
Yes, sir.
Talking things, having a good old time. With our special guest, Brenden Janeczko.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, Brenden?
Oh yeah, we're hanging in there. It's
hanging in
fun.
there. Brenden, I realized we never really explained who you are. You're just kind of some dude that showed up on the show. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah. Well, my name's Brenden, and I've known Alex and Graham for quite a while, probably since middle school or even a little earlier than that. So we've been buddies for a while, but I'm currently finishing out my senior year at Webster University, and I'm currently a film student, and I freelance. I'm a shooter, cinematographer, editor, and I work for a company, like an ad agency called Switch, and I'm in their video motion graphics department. So I do a lot of all that fun stuff for them. So
yeah, so like all the VFX talk earlier is not something just to taken lightly. This guy's actually like doing stuff. He knows what he knows what he's talking about.
We'll do a couple things, yeah.
Every once in a while. So we've been talking. There's a lot of movies coming out this summer, which is,
it's pretty standard. It's summertime.
It's not an unnormal kind of summer thing to do. The summer blockbusters thing. What movies are you guys most excited for this summer?
Dude, I don't know. I'm trying to think honestly.
I'm excited for Jurassic World coming out.
That one, The
second one was garbage. I saw it once in theaters and never again.
Are we in summertime right now?
Yes.
Like, is this summer?
Yes.
When was the first day of summer?
I don't know.
May some? Because are we counting like what's coming? I mean, dude, like trust me, it's like 80, 90 degrees outside. Like, don't get me wrong, it's summertime. But like, is this like the start of summer movies like starting now, or are we looking like
June is typically when I would consider like summer movie season as well.
Okay, bet. Then yes, Jurassic World. I honestly was not going to count World Domination as like.
You could almost consider, like after Memorial Day. That's normally what I like. Memorial Day is like summer starts. That's kind of like
Then I'd say Jurassic World is going to be big. Like I said, dude, I love those movies so much. That's going to be so much fun, dude.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one.
Lightyear's on my list, dude.
Lightyear is going to be a good one.
I was going to say Lightyear was.
That's going to be really, really good. I'm excited.
I feel like there's this weird stigma among people that like because Pixar makes family-friendly movies and it's animated, like it must be garbage or adults can't enjoy it.
Right.
Too, but like,
dude, here's the thing. I was watching Buzz Lightyear when I was a
movies.
kid, and I love Toy Story, right? Like, why would I not enjoy this as an adult? Especially because it's not going to be like super kid based.
Well, I mean, just in general, like they're beautiful movies. Like I mean, they definitely have a formula at this point, but like they're perfect stories. Like it's all
like Cars. Honestly, like the first one, one of my favorite movies I like watched.
Cars
And
is really
I could go sit and watch that movie all the way through, no interruptions, like no problem, any day of the week. I really do love that movie, and it's one I don't really like. ever like think about much, but like, yeah, like I don't think that's, yeah.
Brenden, what about you? Anything you're excited for this summer?
There's two that are kind of on my radar. One of them, obviously, Love and Thunder. Thor. I'm like nervous about it, but I'm pretty excited.
I'm not as excited as I think I should be.
That's how I feel, man.
I'm not as, I liked Ragnarok. It's definitely like in my, it's upper tier Marvel, but like I don't love it as much as other people do.
Yeah.
I think I was telling one of you guys this at some point. Of all of Taika's movies that I've seen, Ragnarok's my least favorite by a long shot. Like it's just, he's a weird dude and he can do some crazy stuff and like.
Yeah, Marvel reels him in a little bit. I think they're giving him a lot of, giving him a lot of leeway with this movie. I think.
Isn't he taking head of a Star Wars movie?
I have a feeling.
Star Wars series.
Yeah, he's directing the next
movie.
And theatrical release, we'll say.
Bet.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, Love and Thunder, and then I don't know if y'all seen a lot of trailers for Nope.
I have seen some trailers.
I'm kind of interested. I don't know. Some of the trailers have been pretty creative. It's not like typically what I'm used to seeing.
They are creative.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I'm just gonna have to see it.
I remember hearing like basically like the breakdown of that movie when it was like first was announced. It was like movie Nope announced about killer cloud that just like comes through and like tears stuff. And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then like or ever heard of. And then I remember like watching.
But then you see it's Jordan Peele, and then all of a sudden,
well, that was the main reason I was kind of like kind of intrigued. And then like I saw the trailer like up in the theater, and I was like, I mean, sure, like I would watch it. I don't think it's going to be anything like.
I was late to the train on Get Out. I didn't see that until.
I still never saw that.
You need to watch it. It's so
good.
Yeah. I never saw Us, but
I never saw that. Not gonna lie, that was scared the ever living crap out of me. I was genuinely. I would not watch that.
Yeah,
I don't do horror. I'm not a big horror movie guy.
Maybe
I
you shouldn't go see it. I don't know.
Here's my thing. Nope doesn't scare me. Like I watched that trailer and I was like, that doesn't freak me out. You know, the whole double face mask Us thing. Like I remember watching that trailer and I was like, yeah, I will never watch that movie. Like
my thing with Nope was when I first saw the trailer for it. It was in the theater and like it had the whole intro, and I was like, I thought it was a totally different movie. I was on board for this whole like this black family like trying to make it in the like a whitewashed Hollywood. Like I was on board for that, and then that's not what it is at all. It was just some random opening shot that they decided to use,
which was creative. It was cool.
It was fun to watch. It got my attention.
Yeah.
I'm excited for for Thor, Lightyear, Jurassic World, all the things. There's not a ton of like,
which I feel like we're getting those pretty quick. Like those are all coming out pretty soon too.
It is summertime.
It is summertime. Yeah. That is fair.
Here's what I think is interesting about this year. In particular, we've gotten some pretty incredible things coming out. We got Top Gun Maverick. We've got Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, just a lot of really incredible stuff is coming out that you can hear our thoughts on other episodes of the show.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow us. When you look at, the Oscars is one of those weird things where I think everybody says it's dumb, it's stupid, it doesn't matter. But everybody wants one. Like, it's
you don't make a movie in hopes that you just never get an Oscar.
Well, I think people have other desires and goals when they make movies. But everyone wants an Oscar, even though no one really likes them.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. But if you look at the Oscars, it's become Oscar season now, where after summer, it's the last 2-3 months of the year. We are just bombarded with amazing movies, and that's awesome, and it's a lot of fun. But the reason for that is, when you on the surface, it makes sense to have, the people in the fields nominating and voting on their categories. The problem, though, is when you're having working professionals do those things, they don't have time to go and watch the 50 million things that are coming out, so they can't accurately. If I only saw, House of Gucci last year, then that's the only movie I'm going to vote for because I can't say anything for anything else. So that's why they do that. I'm curious for next year's Oscars, how many movies are going to come out? Is Everything Everywhere All at Once
even going to be
Best Picture nomination 100%? And it should be.
Yeah.
best VFX, best editing, so many things. I would say the exact same thing for Maverick. Like that does not get a best cinematography nomination, I will throw a fit. But these movies came out really early.
Yeah.
So like I'm curious to see, like, is that going to have an effect on, I don't want to say critical reception, but like
what movies coming out do you think will like compete with those two?
We don't have
like,
much.
do you foresee anything that's going to be? And you never know what's going to pop up.
Yeah, you never know what's going to like.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know.
Marvel.
Coda is one that like I was not on my radar until it was.
There's one movie that we just watched a trailer for that comes out here in like a month or two on Apple. It's like another kind of like Sundance Apple Plus original claim thing. Dude, I made a note for it because look, we watched a trailer for it and it sounded really, really good. And I reminded myself to watch it. Cha Cha Real Smooth.
Okay.
And the only actor or actress that I could pull out was Dakota Johnson. It's like the only like big name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it looked kind of good. It honestly had like one of those just like real like chill, like kind of like Coda vibe like movies. Just felt really like out of pocket. It was not something that just feels like it's just like done all the time. It was really, really, it was a good trailer. It sounds just really, really weird. I mean, it's just about this dude who's like...
Poor title.
What?
It's got a poor title.
Yeah. The dude, I mean, I think the main thing is like the main guy is his job. Like he grew up, he's out of college, he's living life, but his job is literally like, he's like a party starter. Like he has like he like sets up like pop-up parties for like entertainment and stuff, but it's really trash. It's tough. And, but no, like watching the trailer, like the movie looks super cute. And I was just like, I was watching that. I was like I remember watching Coda kind of having the same, like, that's kind of like a weird movie that like I would watch, but then like, I feel like it's going to be like received really, really well. That's one that I was just thinking about the other day.
I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any big fall releases. I don't know if any of you guys want to look that up maybe. Or something.
That's the only like end of the year.
What, Black Adam, is that?
So those are two
Black
movies.
Adam's gonna flop. That movie's gonna be so bad.
Those are two movies that have no chance of being
Oscar
nominated because of who's making them, unfortunately.
I don't know.
That's the thing, like the whole like Marvel line, like with like Thor, like I said, I feel a little weird with that one. Black Panther 2, I feel a little weird with that one. I'm not like overly hyped like I have been in the past for the Marvel movies.
That movie coming out.
This is a total shift.
Yeah.
But I just kind of thought of the three of us. We're massive Marvel nerds.
Yeah.
I don't think we have gone a single episode of the show without talking about the MCU.
We bring up the MCU in Star Wars
in some capacity.
Yeah.
I get excited for Marvel projects, but as a hardcore fan, I don't want to say I'm getting burnt out, but like I'm not excited for Thor. I'm curious about Black Panther 2. I loved Black Panther. I think it's top 3 Marvel for me. We don't know anything about it, so I'm sure once the trailer comes out, I'll be pumped. But like, I'm not like counting down the days to Black Panther 2. I'm curious about what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like we'll see when it
Miss
comes
Marvel
out. Like
again. I'm intrigued. She-Hulk. I'm intrigued. I'm not particularly excited about anything in particular.
Well, I think that honestly, like the main thing with that is, I don't blame Phase 4 necessarily, but I was kind of thinking about this. Like, I think we were talking about this too the other day. Is like the structure of like Phase 1 and where that climax of Phase 2 and how that ended. Like the way Phase 4 started is it's the weirdest mix of movies and shows. Like the lineup of everything. Like who knows what's going to lead to what's going to be that final end game. Like you don't know. And like I think for like I don't say that we're like used to that content, like that order. It's like that. I was thinking to myself, like maybe that it's a different order of content. Like maybe it is. Like I'm not getting burnt out, but I'm just like not as excited for it because it's not what we're used to totally. But yeah, like I'm kind of in the same boat.
Brenden, how are you feeling about
the Marvel
future Marvel projects?
Yeah, I feel as if there's going to be some burnout with like how are you going to top that run after like towards the end of Infinity Saga. It just seems like for me, I'm really wanting them to go away from let's make this big grand like picture MCU. Like I feel like that's kind of already been like we get it, it's there, it's cool. but I really want to see him dig into these more like niche stories. I want to see some really good storytelling. I want to see some more stuff like Loki. Like, I feel as if that was really what I want to see as a fan, is some good storytelling, and just as a viewer, like I just want to see some good storytelling, some good visuals. I want to be entertained. I don't need them to force feed, an Avengers like movie coming down.
Which has
like
been
kind of cool, but yeah, I feel like we're getting towards the end of that. I don't know. It's just seems like it's too much. It's I don't really need that, but
yeah, I agree, because I would throw like Moon Knight in there as like
it's
I think that's and we talked about in our Moon Knight episode, like that's what I want to see more of. I'm curious to see like how much longer they're gonna keep just a general audience, like people who they're not gonna pre-order their tickets for opening night in IMAX. Like they're gonna go 3-4 weeks in.
Well, that's one of the things I keep
wait
seeing
for it to come up on Disney Plus.
Right. I keep seeing like that meme you see everywhere that's like, oh, it's 2050 and you're sitting in the theater with your kids or like you couldn't bring your kids because they're still at home watching the 500 movies and 83 shows that they had to watch to understand this movie. I mean, they're going to probably be able to hold on to, I don't think they're going to lose their audience necessarily, but they're going to lose. I don't think anyone's going to be too excited for those no one's going to be that midnight release or that night before release.
A good point you made that I don't know, a thing you said that made me think of a point. Like I remember my dad like introducing Star Wars to me, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's 6 movies, super easy. I remember doing the same thing when COVID hit. We showed like my sister, my brother, we showed them Harry Potter, 7 movies, 8 movies. Makes sense. I can't imagine by the time I have kids.
Where do you start someone?
I mean, I know
where to start.
I'll start with Iron Man, obviously.
Yeah. No, what do you mean? Bro, Hulk? I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
You're gonna
stop. Yeah, you're gonna kick me off. You're gonna mute me again. I literally thought you were gonna mute me.
I'm like Pavlov dog you. Like,
honestly, that's not a bad. I've literally I just thought about that the other day.
No, honestly, if I were to introduce someone to the MCU, I would do it in chronological order.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So like, I think I would actually start with Captain America, and then that way, like he dies for a little bit, and then like you
just can go back to it. Yeah. Honestly, I think that would be
order that came out.
So you would do the release order, not chronological order? See, I would do chronological
I think release order is good. Don't get me wrong.
Because it's, for the most part, chronological, until you get...
Captain Marvel is a little weird. But but then you have like the Guardians movies. Those take place one after the other, but they're 4 or 5
the
in
Guardian
between.
movies are fantastic.
Hot take, for some reason, Guardians 2 is trash.
Yeah, I never liked it. Guardians 1 I liked.
I don't understand why people like Guardians 2.
Was
and then,
better.
I don't know, I think more of a hot take, Guardians 1 is extremely overrated. Most overrated MC movie.
I mean, it's not in my top 10, that's for sure.
People are putting it like number 1, and I'm just like, it's not that good.
It may be in the top 20 for me.
I remember we had like, back in, I was in high school, I had a debate class, and one of the topics we were debating on if Guardians 1 was better or worse than Avengers, like the original Avengers movie. And we me and a couple of friends, like we got pretty far into it, like as far as the movie did,
it's tough because they're so different,
reactions, and like how it scored too. And I think it was like right there, and that was like a little bit further on. I think obviously
that's one of those I don't think I would be able to compare, because like they're different.
Yeah, like
movies.
Avengers is a straight just
you got your build up. It is a straight action movie also, but you have the build up of the other movies.
There's a different kind of like impact when you've watched all the characters on their own.
Yeah.
So I think that really is what the final was like. Okay, this movie like it's a different kind of, it's something different. It's not just a movie you go watch. So.
Yeah, totally random side tangent, but I think the best class ever. I mean, it was 8th grade, like social studies, like history thing. The overall assignment was we had to like write a paper on like which branch of government was best, but our teacher was smart and was like, no one's gonna give a crap about this.
Right.
So this was when Ultron was getting ready to release. So we all sat down and we watched the Battle of New York from Avengers.
Nice.
And then we didn't actually write the essay, but we had to outline an essay for which Avenger is the strongest or is the most powerful.
Easy,
and like,
yeah.
I was like, it was the same thing. It got
Heated.
conversations got heated. Like,
Dude, that's like, those are fun classes.
and like at the time it was like, can we count Scarlet Witch? Like Scarlet Witch is gonna be the new movie, and he's like, it's not out yet, so you can't talk about it. And we were like,
Dude, that teacher knew what he was doing.
he was. No, yeah, that was totally random side tangent.
That's fun.
So like, here's a potentially an interesting question. Would you like? So we talked about first segment we talked lots of like shows. Which also another random side tangent. I like how we still call them TV shows. Like it's not really like no one says like streaming shows. Everyone's like, oh yeah, the episode of like that TV show. But like it's, I don't know. I guess you're
series,
still
yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's weird that we
What's the
still
correct
series.
term now?
we still use that term.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you even think it would work, or like would you like the same kind of constant outpush of shows that we're getting, but like for movies and even like theatrical releases? So like you have, obviously they would never do this.
Yeah.
But like Disney releases Rogue One and Avengers on the same weekend, or like, and then and then 3 weeks later they release, I don't know, Spider-Man or whatever.
If as long as they're still getting the same amount of content in the shows, sure. With the shows, only reason I'm saying, because like I remember like us being in like high school, and like we had like the months planned out. We were like, dude, like in May this comes out, in June this comes out. We wait till like August comes out. We got August, September, October. We got some movies in Christmas Day, like in December. Like we had our year planned out of the movies we were anticipating, and then like obviously you'd have release date changes and things like that. And like that kept us going for the whole like timeline of that year and the movies we were expecting. Obviously, like I don't think it'd be a big deal though if they drop like 2 movies and then we go 4 months and here's another 2 or 3 movies, and then here's 1 movie but you get 1 more next month. Like I don't think that's a big matter, because again, people aren't right now. We're just being fed content constantly. I don't think anyone's gonna notice if there's a giant break between. I mean, you could release 1 movie in January and 1 movie in like June. You could go a 6-month break between how movies are coming out. That's the only reason I think that would be fine if they gave us, like, I would be fine with that. I'm going to go to a theater more than see. I would kind of hate that though, because I like to
2
go to the
movies
theater
in
a
the
lot.
same weekend. Like, is that what the question? Like,
Dude,
just in general.
Like,
I mean, even if it was
in
like
the
in the same, even in the same week. I mean,
Yeah.
you can answer. You can answer it twice. Like, which would it be better if it released same week versus same weekend?
I don't think there's any way financially that makes sense. If it's a theatrical release, there's just no way. Like people are gonna go to both. Like, I mean,
I agree.
will,
but
Like, let's take logic out of the equation. I'm just saying, you personally, would you like to go into a theater, watch a movie, and then like go to like just next door and watch another one?
I think it would be
Like,
actually
back to back.
Yes.
I think it'd be easier.
It'd be
for
kind
me.
of cool if they like really connected, like it was like, part 1, part 2, or like it was.
Well, no, but he's thinking like what if we got a Marvel movie and a Star Wars movie? Like it's the same franchise, same but different, or same company, different franchises. So normally they split those release weekends up. Would it be better if they did that in 1 weekend?
At least 2 like weeks in between, I think. Because
I'd say for me,
kind of wild.
the only reason I would be kind of okay with that is I feel like it would just be easier to get like those days off that we do see like a release. Like I could get like a weekend off and we could go like back to back. We could go 2 days in a row, and then it'd be fine going in, a couple weeks or a month down the road and not having the next release that we're going to go see them in like the next day before showing. But I also don't mind doing those back to back or week to week. I could go either way. I feel like if they did switch it up, I would just adapt to it and be like, yep, that's how we're doing it now.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is I'm at a movie theater every week.
Regardless.
Anyway.
Like last week I saw like literally 4 movies like back to back to back. Like it was
this last Christmas, the week of Christmas, I was at the movie theater 5 out of 7 days, and I didn't see 5 movies. I saw more than that. But like,
what was that for? Like what? Like,
so it was Spider-Man and Matrix.
Oh yeah.
And I saw something else, I think. But yeah,
we saw Spider-Man like 3-4 times.
Yeah, I saw Spider-Man several times that opening weekend.
Yeah.
That was fun. that was good.
So are there any closing thoughts, any final thoughts on like, just this outflow of this constant stream of both streaming content and also, theatrical content? Is it good, bad? Do you want to see more of it? Want to see less of it? Are you getting anxious? And
all I would say is I don't want to take it for granted. Like I feel like we had the years before COVID, because I feel like we got a decent amount of content and then like stuff shut down, and we went a whole year without Marvel content, right? At one point.
I'm really glad we did, because
it was a nice break. It was a nice break. Like, don't get me wrong. And I feel like it made the anticipation and the impact of the new shows and the movies coming out even better. And they were more anticipated and well accepted. But like, I just, I feel like we're going to be like, this is like, I don't want everyone to seem like I'm complaining about the amount of content just because it could go away.
Yeah. Dude,
that monkeypox is kicking up, dude.
Yeah.
Shoot. I don't know. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I don't know. But I just don't want to.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
You're not kidding at all.
I'm not worried about it whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't want another pandemic to come through and us go another year or two without movies, If we do.
I don't think I can go another year without a movie theater.
Dude, that was rough. That was really, that was tough.
Brenden, what
Final
about
thoughts,
you?
my guy?
I think for me, what really sums it up is I love the content. I just don't want to see the quality drop. Mm-hmm. I think I love the amount that's getting put out. I think it's good. It's good for creators. It's good for the people like jobs and stuff. Like, it's very good for that whole scene. But if it's going to cost the quality that we're getting, I think, because at this day and age and how good like the technology has gotten, there's not much an excuse except for my deadline was tight, Right. So with the budgets, with, the tech that is available, I really just want to be like, give me the good stuff. I can wait another month or 2 months or 3 months and I'll be okay. But but loving the content. So keep it coming. But
I'm going to kind of like push both of your thoughts together for a minute. Cause like, I think it sums up how I feel like, I don't want to take for granted, like all the stuff we're getting. I enjoy it. It's weird when I have a week that I'm not up at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night waiting for something to come out. Like, I like what we're doing, but I don't want to see the quality drop. And we talked about it on last week's show. Like, I think the best comparison to really understand like what my mindset is like Morbius versus Top Gun. Both of those were delayed several years due to the pandemic and everything. The Sony said, okay, cool. We have this thing that we rushed to get out on time, which was, it's delayed. Okay, cool. We're just going to put this on the hard drive and we'll pull it out when it's time to come out. Whereas I don't know this I don't know any of this for a fact, but I'm assuming like that's how it was for Morbius. And then with Top Gun, they said, okay, cool. We have 800 hours of footage. Let's sift through every frame and we're going to take these 3-year delay and we're going to make this the best movie we possibly can. So like, I don't want to see the quality drop. I think some things just need to let them breathe. And even just in terms of the anticipation, like Endgame did not take a year to make after Infinity War.
Right.
They shot them together. But they took a year to put it all together and to make that one of the best movies in the MCU. And I know people not everyone thinks it's up as high as I do, but I'm biased.
It's what it stands for.
Yeah, it was the greatest theater experience of my life. Opening night IMAX was incredible. I
can't imagine like missing that. Like, God,
if I had a time machine and can go back to any moment in my life, I just want to sit in that theater.
Well,
I keep thinking about they
don't care about like winning all your numbers or whatever.
I would even sit in the front row.
Yeah. I was just shut up. Hey, shut up. I was thinking about that. We just watched Multiverse of Madness again the other day. And you know that little machine where they're like walking through one of the universes and there's a little like portal they step on it, like shows them one of their memories. I was just like, dude, if I had that just to relive that,
just to relive Endgame,
Cap holding the hammer, just that whole,
I want to go back in time to when that movie came out and then just like not even watch the movie, just like sit with my back against the screen and watch the reactions. Like,
bro,
no one's anticipating what's happening, and then just it like
If I ever run a theater, which honestly I would love to do one day, I want to put a reaction cam like in. I'm surprised they don't mic those theater ups and like theaters
one day this podcast it's gonna blow up. We're gonna make millions of dollars in
theater.
The Popcorn Hangover movie theater.
Bro, let's do it.
New
10 years from now. I'm just kidding.
new 10-year plan. You heard it here first.
At that point, like Goodrich will be out of business, so they'll need some new owners.
We're just gonna buy all the theaters. It's gonna be the Popcorn Hangover theater. You've been listening to the Popcorn Hangover with special guest Brenden Janeczko. Brenden, where can people find you?
Yeah, find me on Instagram and Facebook and all the good stuff. Twitter, just at Brenden Janeczko or Brenden1113. So.
Cool.
There you go, man.
Yeah. Follow us on all the things as well, and we will see you next time.
Peace.